Hi, my name is DeAndre, and I am your district lieutenant this morning. And this is pretty much working with all types of voting rights and voting laws. So that's pretty much working with at least 978 voting laws within the county district of at least 978 counties at the time. So that's pretty much where you're talking about the whole Central Texas at that point in time, and it's pretty much as you talking about from 2015 to 2027, and how you want to vote for the rest of your future at the end of the day. So at the end of the day, we're just talking about we're talking about vehicles being sold and vehicles being decided. As far as it being a Chrysler 300, a Impala Premier, or a Ford Fusion, what you working on, which car would be, more reliable for your effort. And, that's like how you see it is a close call. It's pretty much where you're working with your own design of your own font. So, it's pretty much where you're working with your own decision of vehicles at the end of the day. So, it's pretty much working with those details. So, other than it being that, we're just working with repost reviews. So, it's pretty much as we getting through the week, of the mornings, this is pretty much where we being able to start something for the beginning of the day. So, it is always time to get refreshed at extended stay hotels, and be able to work with those hotspot locators, and be able to understand more about those decency at the end of the day. So that's pretty much as we get more inspired by the tradition um that we reassemble with our local networks in the Great Plains to the mid states at the time. So I was just getting more affiliated with 2002 to 2022. So I was getting ready for the Buffalo Soldiers, or just the Bills or the Chicago Bulls, or even Nebraska college NCAA, and understanding more about college and intensity, college intensity after you see more of mid plains, mid states, and Great Plains effects on older animosity at the time. So just pretty much as you working with college intensity, and then at the end of the day of that, you working with more of the work site divisions, where you're working with coordinates, graphs, you're working with you're working with collaborated ratios from PFG as well. So it's pretty much as PFG is finding somewhere else to spend its resources on purple, yellow, and green formats. You can spend it on at least nine other things. Knowing that that's what you need. You can spend it on a Sprite, you can spend it on a 7-Up, you can spend it on a Sunkiss, A&W, everything is fine at the time. So, it's another part of my free trade investment that makes it more successfully legal to itself. So, it's pretty much where you're working with a whole group of 2002 to 2022, and, working with it like it's 1830 to 1980 at the time. So, it's just pretty much where you're working with, at least 20 to 60 years of advancement, and, being able to understand more of the intensity of the stock economy at the end of the day. So, it's pretty much where, you just putting me in my position, and, building a comfort for my position. At the end of the day, I'm coming from aquatics and enterprise, so, I'm very uncomfortable at the moment, so we want to be able to put the best of comfort, with the mornings, and, be able to guide, that type of position of propositions that go from Bee Cave, Waco to LaGrange to Amarillo to Abilene and and Luling at the time. So, those are the common states that are in the local areas that I am at, more prominently all the time at this time. So, as I migrated here, we come from California. So, that's pretty much where, we started more of 2022. So, that's pretty much coming from California and, being able to migrate in their way. So, they'll have an interest in, knowing where, I go and where I come from as far as knowing North Lamar from airport and, knowing those basic lieutenant areas at the time. So, unlike it being South Congress or Old Torf or Brody out there, it's pretty much where you're working with North Zone resources at the time of North Lamar, Airport, Burnett, Anderson Mill, Far West, you're in that area. So, it's pretty much as you working with different members, you're only working with, at least two members of the decency at the time. So, one goes to Brody, one goes to Anderson Mill at the time. And, it's pretty much where I dispute to Anderson Mills production, since that's a more reliable resource for my efficiency at the time. So, that's pretty much as I focus on those areas. We use 87 years, 78 years, 32 years to promote more for the progressive exchange. So, that's pretty much as you're using PFG collaborated ratios, you're being able to pay for at least 77, 66, 95 different more tax references and bill statements and tax deficits, bill statements, and tax references all at the same time. So, that's pretty much where one is more efficient than the other, and then the other costs less than the other. So, it's pretty much being able to handle the upkeep of your upcoming updates, and that's pretty much what the district coordinator does in every branch that has more of a Sam's or a Sears or a Costco's like environment for itself. So it's using more of 2022 to 2036, and it's pretty much where we've been able to focus more on Polar Express, more on Chronicles of Narnia, more on basing our way off of chapter 7 going to chapter 44, and being able to read at least 4,000 words at that point of precision is pretty much where we're being able to use more of our intuitive skills at the time. So it's pretty much being able to teach and instruct about a method that has a resource of everything that you could be talking about at the time. So whether it's a different brand or a different decision or a different company, that's pretty much where you're working with the same type of main title or theme at the end of the day. So that's pretty much where you're all covered within that area. So that's pretty much how you get more with AIG fully loaded, and understanding more about what condensed context would do, like AIG fully loaded at the time. So that's working with yellow, red, and green yellow, red, and green consistency, and that's pretty much where you're using 98%, 38%, 78%, 84%, 96%, 86%, 98%, 92%, 89%. You're using that to cover a large portion of your Comcast grid midpoints. And that's pretty much following yellow, white, and blue coordinates, whether it's 89% or 99%. So it's pretty much where you're using more of New Braunfels with Waco, and being able to add from lower decisions to higher decisions from New Braunfels to Waco to Caldwell at the time. So that's pretty much as you're using three different coordinates. You're able to use that. So at the end of the day, you're working with insurance providers. You're working with car sales engineers, and they just tell you more of the combined like turns part. Which car do you feel is more invested towards your style and your fashion at the day. That's pretty much how you want to be able to and complete that's how you want to complete your evidence for how you want to live your throughout the day. Is it how you feel? You want to be able to feel as compassionate as you want. So you want to get the intuitive car as well. So you want the more intuitive car that's gonna produce as much energy as you can. It might not be a Honda, it might not be a Kia, but you can go with a Chrysler 300 or a Impala Premier or a Charger at the time. So that's pretty much where you being able to look at the different Chargers, if that comes, and being able to determine your intuitive balance between a 5.7 liter and a V6 at the time. So that's pretty much where you're using those decencies at automotive support of EcoLead mega platforms, and that's pretty much what all sponsors those corporate offices at the time. So as we become a district lieutenant, that's pretty much as we follow our voting rights and be able to use our tax county effects. That's pretty much as we're using more towards being a more professionalized stability. And the thing about it is, it's not just about the show and style. It's about the performance and technique that you used during the week that progresses you through your time at the time. So that's pretty much what I've always impassioned myself in since 2010. So it's the effort and skill that you put in that you believe that there's a good chance that you have good promotions for your investment in time and for the choice of your decisions at the time. So that's pretty much where you're using 9,800 48 hours instead of 28 48 hours. So that's pretty much getting at least 30 minutes in, a good 30 minutes to 3 hours in. So that's pretty much how, as you spending more time correcting your seat, you're using up to at least 98 78 63 hours, even 3 hours when you're in the destination. So that's pretty much working with 98 hours, 78 hours, and 83 hours. So it's pretty much as you use them more for the factory storage of that component. That's pretty much how you get more invested with the animosity of the characters. That's in Enfield, that's in a Big Stacy, that's in Ramsey, that's in Northwest, that's in Elizabeth Ney, that's in Shite. Just being able to show more of the community services that are provided in the open landscapes of South Congress, and on to Duval, on to North Lamar, Guadalupe, Vernon, Anderson Mill, onto those areas. So that's pretty much where you're not just working with LBJ, you're not working with Crockett, you're not working with Travis, but you're working with Reagan Tuscan radios, and that's pretty much where you're using more contrast for individual coverage at the time. So it's working with 1978 to 2020 2018. So, that's pretty much where we're using Bill of Rights, Articles of Confederation, and of 1978, and, being able to use that of 2 to 3 other forms is pretty much where you're using a more accurate, more specified, more individual traded investment for 2002 of 2022, which takes more than 3 hours, more than 30 hours, more than 300 hours. So, that's pretty much where we got to be able to use time from then on, and then, using PFG collaborated ratios as, the district coordinators resource 98 different bills, 78 different bills, and 38 different bills. So, it's pretty much where the district manager accepts, more of the bills being paid and understanding more about the liability of the bill being paid, and, being able to have somebody to simplify the bills that needed to be paid. So, that's what the district coordinator does. And, that's pretty much where you use more of, how to pay the bank off paid in full from 1998 to 2078 at the time. And, the thing about it is it all started in 2023, and, that's pretty much where you're being able to add a reference on what car you want at car gurus of any local metropolitan district dealership in the state. So, it's pretty much as you looking for your intuitive form car that you want, you being able to use it for 2 months, 3 months, 2 days, 2 hours. That's pretty much where you're using, majority of your full payment at the time. So, that's pretty much where you're using 2 hours, 9 hours, 3 hours of deferment, coming from 3 months, 9 months, 4 months, 6 months. That's pretty much just how you being able to use it for determination at the time. So, that's pretty much what we learned at the end of the day, as we learn more about AIG fully loaded, and, it's pretty much working with 978 different midpoints and coordinates from a shorter midpoint. So, you being able to get the memoirs of yellow, blue, and green cautions, and, us being able to be part of the software data engineering techniques that we got going on in Central Texas. So, that's pretty much following infield, and it's following Big Stacy, and it's going to Little State Elizabeth Ney as well. So, that's pretty much using the year-round advocacy of the year, and, being able to create notifications, when you need it on MSN, Adobe, and Internet Explorer. So, that's pretty much where we're using that, and, being able to use it with Google Fi and Google Docs. So, it's pretty much using 98, 78, and 82 different characters to promote more for that sufficiency at the time. So, I was working with 98%, 82%, 89%. Either working with luxury deluxe benefits, so everything is already, in a standard form of being percepted at the time from 1248 to 315. And, it's pretty much where we're just using more of a systematic time in order to pass by its own deficiency at the time. So, it's pretty much using 15-hour performance at the end of the day to promote more of those statistics. So, that's pretty much just working with Comcast grid midpoints, and, working with purple, blue, and red locations and destinations at the time. So, that's pretty much what we're working with, at least 84, 49 different locations within the year of the weeks, and, being able to know more about the midpoints of the metropolitan areas that get you starting off for what you like the most. So, that's pretty much we're using 89, 49 different resources to promote more for 23.39 at the time. So, that's pretty much working with 30 hours, 300 hours, 500 hours of deferment at the time. So, we have to be able to rely on, good methods of, better depositions and better coordinates and, better the fonts of 2013 to 2022. So, that's pretty much where you're using more of 50,000 with $500,000 being deferred at the time. So, that's pretty much as you being able to pay the bills as a district coordinator, you being able to use five bills, 70 bills, 95 bills is being completed as paid. And, that's going to the next point of midpoints, Comcast grid midpoints. And, that's pretty much what PMC2 squared is being invented to as well. So, at the end of the day, that's working with 9,770 different miles of display after white, purple, and green the fonts at the end of the day. So, that's working with Internet Explorer, that's working with AOL, that's working with Jackson Hewitt, Hugo at the end of the day. So, that's white, purple, blue, and things of, the general management of Hugo and those assignments coming from, those collaborated ratios at the time. So, you got like 98, 78, 82 different collaborated ratios that you can start a fair option of 90 dimes, 70 dimes, and 25 dimes, just because that's where it started on a 78, $20 rating at the time. So other than that, you are talking about cars, you are talking about business plans, you are talking about collateral ratios at the end of the time. So, that's just as thick as the job could get, after knowing everything about a private contractor from Brenham to Waco, and knowing about Amarillo and LaGrange and Lutheran as well. So, that's already using your Comcast grid midpoints, and being able to reduce it to that benefactor at the end of the day. So, that's pretty much using 9800, 2300, and being able to use it 2003 to 2023, and being able to show you more respect as a global group of 978 different groups at the time. So, it's just being able to share more of yellow, blue, and red capacities with the opposite position at the time. That's at least 978 different members at the time. So, it's working with 9.1 statistics for a $900 bill, $900 tax deficit, coming from a self-evident individual. And, what you're seeing at a self-evident individual is a person that's incomplete of their acknowledgments at the time. So, that's pretty much what we're going up against big time at Sam Houston to Webb at the time. So, that's pretty much where you just being able to say, you call the person that don't know its full capacity, you call them self-evident because it's not a full, complete, it's not a full, complete design. And, it would like to have the 2012 Infinity, but it's not complete enough to have the Infinity. So, that's how you get 2018 with 2023, and, you get that objective just because they failed, and the other team has passed, and they passed more correct answers than 343 correct answers that the other self-evident person didn't pass. So, that's pretty much where you're using 98%, 82%, 89%. And, that's pretty much what you do to promote more for that registration of of information at the end of the day. So, us being able to collect more up to 978 W-2s and, transitioning them to Jackson Hewitt Yugo. So, be able to, so you can be able to collect, more of your general management, societies and statistics. And, this is just all DWL's industries, and, being able to show more facts for 2023 to 2053, and being able to show more diligence within that. We work as accessibility is pretty much where we get more affiliated with that district where we work, and AIG and outreach and TCS. We're figuring out something to do with our collaborated ratios, as we have 9 DOMs, 19 DOMs, 90 DOMs, and being able to know more about the ratio of the standard form productions at the time. So it's pretty much where you're being able to share more of 744x more often, majority of the time. So instead of it being 4 times, it's 14 times. So that's pretty much sharing your ranking as far as how much you can spend on a bill and its qualifications at the end of the day. So that's pretty much what gets the day started, and what gets you more amplified with the parties you make as a district coordinator at the end of the day. So that's pretty much as you make more leads, and you do more bill statements. It's pretty much as you figuring out better ways how to increase your ways to promote more for time PMC as well. So that's pretty much working with general maintenance at the time. So that's pretty much where you get more of the city management of Austin City at the time. So that's pretty much a Central Texas main point of where to collaborate with different diversities between Denver and Oklahoma and Kansas and Kentucky. You're using different good zones like that. So that's pretty much where you're getting more of that decided promotion. So other than that, you are working with work plans. You working with collaborative ratios of how to pay those work plans. Other than that, that's basically what we do at AIG Fully Loaded, Jackson Hewitt, JG Wentworth, TCS, Outreach. That's basically what we do at those types of organizations and reunions at the time. So, I was using 98, 78% to promote more for that decency. So, it's pretty much what we're using more of 9,000%. So, that's pretty much where we're using 90 touchdowns, 80 touchdowns, 20 touchdowns per season, to get more with, 1 touchdown, 14 touchdown, 28 touchdown. So it never really mattered how many touchdowns you make, how many touchdowns can be made, and, how many touchdowns has been made. So it never really mattered about neither one of them, just because, that's pretty much the absolute monarchy of the absolute theocracy of one team at the end of the day. It's pretty much where you're using an older strand, and that's pretty much where you're using more of the way how to connect with the people of your with your colony at the end of the day. So it's pretty much where you're using more towards Andersonville, Burnett, you're using more towards you're using more towards a description of 1978 to 1997 to 2042, and it's just using more of the nice fusion compassion of 2018, and being able to use this comfort of luxury as a newer model of car. That's pretty much a nice plural beginning of what I would think is a nice model for somebody to drive at the end of the day. So that Ford Fusion does that's at least $9,748 that you're putting into the Ford Fusion. every 9 months. So, that's pretty much where you're using, that for, cleansiness, using bleach, using pine soil, using crest, using dial, being able to create your clean health sciences of a detail. So, that's pretty much what primary that promotes that car for the decency at the time. So, yeah, that's pretty much what we're using at the end of the day.